I'm Judy Zarafa. A series of what I've always believed were miracles opened the door for me to write what was discovered to be the first book on self-help for young people. Go For It was published in 1982, and I was invited to be a guest on television and radio talk and news shows across the country. One of those media invitations was from The Today Show. I flew to New York to tape that interview, and as soon as it aired, I received a call from the president of one of General Motors' divisions. He asked me if I would come to Detroit and teach his executive management team what it takes to succeed. I laughed and said, "I think you have me confused with someone else. I'm the lady who works with kids." "I know who you are," he said. "Your book is on the desk in front of me, and I can tell you, I don't have anyone on my team who knows half of what you've written for kids." I thanked my caller for his invitation, but said I really wasn't the right person to help him. The next day, there was a call from Phillips Petroleum with the same request. After turning down at least a dozen invitations from Fortune 500 companies, a friend asked, "Don't you understand the word market?" His question made me think, what if the reason children don't understand what it takes to succeed is because we adults truly don't understand it? Between the time I had written Go For It and the conversation with my friend, I realized that if that body of knowledge known as how to succeed could be quantified, it would be vast. I realized I only had a small part of that knowledge. If I were going to present my ideas to corporate management teams, I would need to learn a lot more than I currently knew. How could I bridge that gap quickly, I wondered. I called the woman who had produced my segment on the Today Show. Her name is Ronnie Hode, and she'd been with NBC for 15 years as a producer. I knew she could help me. I explained to Ronnie what I was trying to do. "I need to learn everything there is to know about achieving success," I told her. "How do you think I can help?" she asked. "Ronnie, you've had the most successful people in the country on your show. I just want to meet some of them and ask how they did it." Ronnie told me she thought she could help. She said she knew Helen Gray, the executive director of the Horatio Alger Association. Each year, this organization honors men and women in the United States who began their lives with no advantages and through their own effort and determination, succeeded magnificently. Through Ronnie and Helen's efforts, I was given access to 35 men and women who had received the Horatio Alger Award. As time drew near for those interviews to begin, both Ronnie and Helen stressed the fact that these men and women were very busy and that I needed to be succinct. Succinct? I needed to find out everything there was to know about achieving success. How could I be succinct? I was told I would only have 20 minutes with each of my interviewees. I couldn't imagine how I was going to be able to get what I needed in such a short amount of time. I finally decided I'd only have time for one question, so it would really have to be good. What do you think you know that you think no one else knows that has allowed you to succeed for the degree for which you've been honored? That was the only question I ever asked. Interviews scheduled for 20 minutes turned into hours. These men and women shared their hearts, their minds, and their souls with me. It took the best part of 6 months to complete those interviews, and at the end, I had stacks of steno pads and a shoebox full of audio cassette tapes. I spent the next 3 months reviewing everything I'd written or recorded. From the beginning, I saw a pattern begin to emerge. I realized these 35 men and women kept telling me the same things. At the top of a legal pad, I defined these things as the keys to success. There were 7. Once I completed my review of what the award recipients had told me, I discovered something that made my heart race. 30 of those 35 men and women only knew a combination of 3 of those keys. 2 people knew a combination of 4. 2 others knew 5, but only 1 person knew all 7. Oprah Winfrey. In a moment that changed my life and put me on this path forever, I knew what I had to do. I would find a way to translate those 7 keys to success into language any child could understand, and then I'd spend the rest of my life teaching those keys to anyone who would listen. In case you're wondering what the 7 keys to success are: positive attitude, belief in yourself, building positive habits, making wise choices, setting goals, using creative imagination, and persistence. Common sense things, aren't they? You probably remember being told when you were a child that you needed a positive attitude. And maybe as an adult, haven't you ever told your child or a student the same thing? But here's the thing, no one ever told you how to have a positive attitude, how to believe in yourself, how to totally eliminate a negative habit and replace it with a positive one, did they? We didn't learn how choice really works in our lives, or the science behind goal setting. No one told us about the power of creative imagination to solve problems and accelerate us toward our goals. We didn't learn what it takes to become persistent, the how for achieving, developing, and then using these keys to success was a mystery. It isn't now. Children as young as 5 learn how to understand and practice these simple techniques to ensure academic, personal, and eventually economic success. The power of the 7 keys to success crosses all gender, age, and socioeconomic boundaries. The Go For It Foundation provides a certification program for classroom educators to teach them how to provide these life-changing strategies to their students. And in their own words, teachers and school administrators tell us the Go For It 7 Keys to Success program is the missing link in education today, that it has the power to transform the future for our children. Let's make that happen. If you're a teacher, we invite you to become a certified Go For It classroom trainer. In addition to the benefits for your students, this program will make your own life easier and better. If you're a parent, tell your school administrator about the Go For It 7 Keys to Success program. If your child and his classmates have the advantage of this program, it makes your entire family stronger. If you're part of a civic, professional, or corporate organization, consider creating a scholarship for a teacher or an entire school. The effects of training even one teacher will positively impact hundreds of people within your community. Together, we can change the world for our children. Let's go for it.